There's a lot of pressure to be successful. We see it in our social media feeds. We feel it at work. But what happens when we fail? Are we just one post or one project away from being labeled a failure ourselves? How do we deal with failure? What is success anyway? Today we are talking about failure. Failure is not the end, it's the invitation. That's the title of the book that I wrote. And it's a book that I wish I had read 20 years ago because I spent most of my career failing. I was afraid of success because I wasn't sure I deserved it. And so I did everything I could to screw it up. And then when I would fail, I would think to myself, yeah, that's what I deserve. I am a failure. The good news is there is an art to failing forward. If you can learn how to do this, you can get back up after failure. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep going. The best part of the story is that when you do this, when you fail forward, you can actually succeed faster. You can become more successful than you ever thought you could. Now, in order to talk about this, we need to first talk about success. This is going to sound really simple, but success is the result of a series of small steps that we take every day. These are actions that we take that move us closer to the life that we want, closer to the goals that we have set for ourselves. When you wake up tomorrow morning, what will you do that moves you closer to the life that you want? Maybe it's writing down 3 things you are grateful for. Maybe it's taking your dog for a walk, taking some time to meditate. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of that book that you know will teach you something new, spending time with the people that you love. Whatever those small steps are, you need to identify them and start doing them. Once you get into the habit of doing these small things every day, eventually they add up to big results. So success is a series of small steps. Failure, on the other hand, is the result of inaction. When you decide to skip that workout today, when you decide to stay at home instead of networking with someone new, when you decide not to read that book, failure is the result of inaction. Inaction leads to failure. Inaction leads to regret. Eventually, if you choose inaction over and over again, eventually you will look back and you will say, I wasted my life. I didn't do the things that I needed to do when I had the chance. Failure is the result of inaction. Now, having said all of that, obviously we all fail sometimes. We all try to take steps towards success, and we miss. We miss sometimes. Sometimes we miss by a lot. Sometimes you go in the wrong direction. That's okay. It's okay to miss. It's okay to fail. It's better to have failed than to have never tried at all. So let's talk about what to do when you do fail. There are 4 important steps. The first step is to stop punishing yourself. We tend to beat ourselves up after we have failed. Now, depending on who you are, maybe you were raised in a household where you got beaten up when you failed. And so when you fail, you do 2 things. You punish yourself like you were punished when you were younger, or you punish others. That's another thing that people do. They hold others to impossible standards, whether it's themselves or other people. Don't do that. When you fail, it's okay. Stop punishing yourself. Learn from it and move on. Number 2 is forgive yourself. This is very important. Let me share with you something that I learned in therapy. One day I went to therapy and I told my therapist about all of these mistakes that I had made in my life, and I was beating myself up about all of these things. And then my therapist looked at me and he said, Hamza, if you met someone who had done all of the things that you have done, would you still be so hard on them? And I said, no, probably not. He said, well, then don't be so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself. We tend to judge ourselves much harder than we would judge other people. Other people make mistakes. Other people fail. We tend to judge ourselves harshly. We tend to hold ourselves to impossible standards. Don't do that. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Let me ask you something. How long do you think you need to be punished for something before you deserve to be forgiven? 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade? Never. You deserve to be forgiven right now. This moment you deserve to forgive yourself. Do it. The third thing to do after you fail is to fix it. Most of the times when you fail, there is something that you can do to fix it. If you are late to work, there is nothing you can do to change the fact that you were late. But maybe if you forgot to submit an assignment, there is something you can do about it. Maybe you can email your boss and ask for an extension, or maybe you can work overtime and finish it. Whatever you need to do, figure out a way to fix it. The reason why I am asking you to fix it is because if you don't, you will dwell on it. You will keep thinking about it. You will keep replaying the same scenario over and over again in your head, and that won't help you. That won't help anyone. So if you can figure out a way to fix it, do it. The fourth thing to do when you fail is to use it as fuel. I read this quote somewhere, I can't remember where, but it goes something like this. Our scars have a story to tell. Every scar tells the story of a wound that has healed. That's true. Your failures, your mistakes, they tell the story of who you are. They tell the story of what you have been through. Instead of running from your story, embrace it and use it as fuel. Use it to drive you forward. Remember, success is the result of a series of small steps. Failure is the result of inaction. When you fail, do the 4 things that I talked about earlier. Then start taking small steps towards your goal. Keep moving. Keep going. Don't let failure define you. If you are struggling with failure right now, please know that you are not alone. I have failed so many times in my life. I have failed at relationships. I have failed at school. I have failed at work. I have failed at businesses. I have failed at pretty much everything you can think of. The good news is, I am here today talking to you. I am here today telling you that it's okay to fail. It's okay to miss. It's better to have missed than to have never tried at all. I want you to hear something that changed my life. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times while trying to invent the light bulb. He didn't give up. He kept going. He kept failing forward until he succeeded. On the 10,001st try, when he finally invented the light bulb, do you think he said to himself, I finally succeeded after all this time? No. I bet he said to himself, wow, I learned so much during this process. Now I know how to improve the light bulb even more. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. That's the mentality you need to have. The next time you fail, remember, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning. The biggest risk in life is not taking any risk at all. The biggest risk in life is holding on to what we don't want to hold on to. The biggest risk in life is not leaving that toxic relationship. The biggest risk in life is staying at a job that we hate. The biggest risk in life is continuing to do the things that are destroying us. The biggest risk in life is not trying at all. Trying is scary. Putting yourself out there is scary. But trust me, the pain of regret is much worse than the pain of trying and failing. It's better to have failed than to have never tried at all. How many times have you held on to something that you knew you should not have held on to? How many times have you stayed in a situation too long when you knew you should have left? How many times have you done the wrong things for too long? Now it's time to cut your losses, or now is the time to stop doing the things that are destroying you. Now is the time to stop wasting your life. Now is the time to start living your best life. Now is the time to stop punishing yourself. Now is the time to forgive yourself. Now is the time to fix what you can and use the rest as fuel. Now is the time to start succeeding. You are strong enough. You are smart enough. You are beautiful enough. You are enough. You are ready. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Thank you.